Hey girl, I came to drop by to let you know that you have been believing those negative limiting beliefs for far too long. God has called you to be more, do more, and live more life than you have been living, but you've been so stuck in your mind and so trapped with all of the chatter and everything else around you. So if you're interested in learning how to live your full potential, to let go of all of the limiting beliefs and how to truly walk in the identity that God called you to walk in, stay tuned for my video so I can give you a few tips that I think would help. For one, the first thing that you have to understand is that God called you to do more than you're doing. And it's hard to understand that initially when you're walking through life day in and day out, not even really taking inventory of what your life is consisting of. There's been so many times in my life just going with the motions and never really sitting down to think, what is it that God has called me to do? What does God want me to really get out of this whole life experience, right? And sometimes we get so wrapped up in all of the hardships and the things that we unfortunately experience while being here. But I want you to know that challenges are going to come. That's inevitable. It's going to happen to all of us. But what you do with the challenges and how you overcome them is by trusting that God is not going to put you through anything that you can't bear. And so if you understand that God is on your side, when you have those challenges, those experiences, and those hard things that will happen in life, you have to know that you're either going to learn something from it or going to have some sort of knowledge that could help someone else in your future, or it's going to make you a better person. So don't look at the situations that come your way as an obstacle that's meant to stop you. It's meant for you to overcome that so that you can continue to progress and move forward in life. And although you're going to have situations and experiences, don't let it define you and don't let it make you feel like it's bigger than you, because it's not. Next, I would say, I want you to get a real grip on your mindset and understand that part of the problem is the way that you think about things, and it's your perspective in life. There were so many times in my life where I thought about the things that I was going through as that's just what my life was going to be. And unfortunately, it started to repeat over and over and over again due to my choices and also not learning from the lessons that God previously put me through to learn from. So sometimes you're in seasons and you're in cycles where you're continuously going through the same thing over and over and over again, day in and day out. It can honestly make you feel like that's just all that life is. Like that's all that you're meant to experience in life. I'm here to tell you that you are meant to experience so much more. I've been in traumatic relationships, traumatic situations. I've dealt with people that literally treated me some type of way and made me feel way less than myself. And that is not the design of the relationships that God wants you to be in. God is not going to put you with someone who's going to make you feel less than yourself or make you feel like you're not worth living on this earth, or everyone is worth it, okay? And just because that person couldn't see that in you at the moment, at the time, or in general, just meant that they weren't the person for you. So your mindset, getting a grip on that and understanding that just because someone couldn't see your worth does not equate to what your worth actually is. You have to know within yourself and get to a place where even if you don't know, you don't feel like it's fully confident within you, you have to start walking like it until it becomes more confident. God will begin to restore that in you. He will begin to heal you, and he'll be able to bond those situations and bond those traumatic experiences in your life. There's been certain things I've gone through where I never thought it was going to get out of my mind, but it came to a point where God mended those situations. He mended my heart and he restored me back to new. And so just because of the situations you've gone through, don't develop a cold heart to life because people could not see your worth. And as a result, you started to look at yourself differently. And I want you to get a grip on your mindset and understand that it has nothing to do with them. You just have to love yourself and learn yourself a little bit more and allow God to restore those pieces in you. The last thing I would say is to identify who you want to be in this lifetime. And ultimately, whatever God wants you to do is the direction that he's going to steer your life in anyway. But there's going to be lessons and challenges along the way that's going to strengthen you, develop you, and mold you into the person that you ultimately need to be to do the task in the first place. So everything that I'm doing today and everything that I've acquired is all from timeline of God bringing me through situations, through challenges, through obstacles and everything else to develop me into the person that I am today. I had to experience certain hard times. I had to go through certain rough seasons and rough patches in my life in order for me to even sit here and be able to give this advice. So sometimes the things that you're going through is literally worth where you're going to, because you're going to be able to empower someone else on the opposite end of that who might need that encouraging message or that encouraging word. I would tell you to hang in there and understand that there's going to be seasons that seem longer than others. Everything that's happening is happening for a reason, and God makes no mistake. Don't judge your now season for your year 5, your year 10, your year 6. God is bringing you through this season, and it's brighter on the other side. So in order for you to live your full potential and to overcome those limiting beliefs, you literally have to go to God and trust that He is going to work on you. And by Him working on you, He's also going to work through you as well. So be willing to take on the job, be willing to go on the journey, and understand that it all starts in here and in here first. Trust the process and allow God to literally restore you, repair you, and fix you, because He is the one that can do it. You're talking to someone who was literally depressed, who did not want to be here at one point, and who literally felt like life would be better off without me. I felt like if life continued on, nobody would care and it wouldn't even matter. And I never thought that the same experiences that I've gone through would help heal so many women today. I'm challenging you and I'm encouraging you to keep walking this thing out, to keep trusting God every single day, to give it all to Him at His feet, and to literally surrender and say, not my will, your will. I want to do whatever you called me to do, and I want to live my fullest potential. I'm not satisfied with living life at bare minimum. I'm not satisfied with living at a lower level of potential when I know that God called me to be so much more. When I know He called me to do and to live and experience so much more. I wasn't satisfied with being depressed. I wasn't satisfied with living in certain situations and experiencing certain things. I wasn't satisfied being with someone that made me feel less than myself. But guess what? God had so much more for me and I didn't even know. He had so much more in store, and I just had to keep walking it out, and it literally came to pass. It literally was brought to my feet. And so on the journey, you're going to go through challenging times. You're gonna have those hard experiences sometimes, but it's all worth it. So keep trusting God and allow Him to work through you. Bye. It's been a minute since I